Hello, all you wonderful people out there, and welcome to my media museum. Today, we're going to be looking at an original disco case from the early 50s that the wife and I found in a antique shop in Cheyenne, Wyoming. We were up there roaming in Wyoming for 4th of July weekend one year and came across this. I really wasn't interested in buying the case so much. I just wanted the discs. But when I asked about how much the discs were, they said, oh, the discs come with the case. We're not selling them separately. So I had to buy the case to get the discs. Well, that really wasn't such a terrible deal, in my opinion, because the case had 62 45s in it. It says it holds 60, but you can squeeze a few extras in there, I guess. And it is an original vintage case from the 50s. These were the cases that came out at the same time as the 45 RPM format, marketing towards teens, trying to sell music. And the first one here we've got is Badfinger, Come and Get It, with the B-side being Rock of Ages. So, very cool. There's a lot of really good 45s in this spindle. I was really surprised at how many good ones were in there. So, it really wasn't such a bad deal for me buying all 62 of them for 20 bucks with the case. Crosby, Stills, and Nash doing Our House. Love that song. Great 45 to have. And the B-side of that is another good Crosby, Stills, and Nash song, Deja Vu. So, like I said, a lot of really good ones in here. Then we got this page one here, which don't recall seeing. And Vanity Fair doing Hitchin' a Ride. That's a really good song. It's Hitchin' a Ride. And the B-side being a song called Manchild, D-A-T-A, Data. So, kind of weird, strange title there. Don't know what that's all about, and I don't recognize that song. But I definitely know Hitchin' a Ride, and I definitely know Free Ride as well, from the Edgar Winter Group. This is a really good 45 to have. 1972. What a great song. What a great band. And the B-side of that one being When It Comes. And pretty much all these, they look real good. I'm surprised there wasn't stacking wear like we've seen recently, and especially on that last box 7. I had quite a few in that one that had a bit of stacking wear. Then we've got Paul McCartney and Wings doing Band on the Run. Just hit after hit here. And the B-side of that one was 1985. Next up, we've got another Paul McCartney and another great song, Another Day. It's just another day. Do, 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 do. And the B-side of that, Oh Woman, Oh Why. So, always nice to add some Beatles, even if they're solo Beatles. And hey, how about Imagine by John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band. I mean, you don't get more of a classic from Lennon than that. And the B-side was It's So Hard. Another John Lennon song, not a Yoko, which some of his has John on one side and Yoko on the other. I could do without the Yokos, but I did like John and his work. Next one up is another John Lennon Plastic Ono Band. Yoko Ono, Plastic Ono Band. I don't know why it's done twice there, but that's interesting. But Mother, which is a good John Lennon song. But yeah, it's kind of interesting there that they've got John Lennon, Plastic Ono, and then Yoko Ono, Plastic Ono. Kind of weird, huh? Then on the B-side, it's labeled a little differently. But Why, which is a Yoko Ono song. And yeah, it's labeled the same way, just spelled out different. So that's weird. Very strange. Then, one more John Lennon here. Power to the People. And the B-side of that one was Touch Me, which, like I said, see there, you usually got a John on one side and Yoko on the other. But it's nice to have the power to the people, for sure. Then next up, we've got Ringo Starr doing It Don't Come Easy. And we may have covered one of those in a previous box. There's a couple of duplicates in here that we've covered in boxes 1 through 7 in the recent release videos that I've done already for the channel. But this is actually on an Apple label, and I think the other one didn't have this nice green apple label there. But the B-side being early 1970, which I do seem to recall being the same B-side on every one of the It Don't Come Easy 45s that I have read across. Next up, we've got George. So, you know, we went through all the Beatles here, and George Harrison doing My Sweet Lord, which was a good hit for him. And all these are pretty decent, you know, clean. Well, they need some cleaning. They got some dust, but, you know, that's nothing. We're not worried about that. The B-side, Isn't It a Pity? So, 2 real good George songs on 145 there for us. From All Things Must Pass. Yeah, that was a really great album. His first album after leaving the Beatles. And, or I guess the Beatles broke up. He didn't leave. There's some controversy over who left first, but I do believe it was Paul that left first and did his first album. Even before Let It Be, Abbey Road, excuse me. Between Let It Be and Abbey Road. But I'm not a big Beatles expert, but that's the way I seem to recall. It was Paul that left the band, and then they just kind of dissolved after that. But here we're moving on to CCR, and Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Which is a really good one. Now we've got some, you're seeing some stacking wear on this one. Could just be the quality of the labels too, but maybe these just got a little more play than some of the other ones in this spindle. And the B-side being Hey Tonight. And that's common. Most of the CCRs have great songs on both sides. CCR did so many great tunes. And most of their 45s do have recognizable songs on both sides, even if you're just a casual fan. They got a lot of airplay. The radios loved them. So Run Through the Jungle, being on the A side of this one. And the B side is showing Up Around the Bend. Going up around the bend. Yeah. And then what's up next for CCR? One More Time. Traveling Band. And the B side of that one, or Who'll Stop the Rain. So see, there you got, excuse me. There you got 3 CCRs and 6 great songs. So definitely good bargain buying CCR 45s. And then we've got the Blue Ridge Rangers here, which if you're not familiar with the Blue Ridge Rangers, that was actually John Fogerty's first venture after leaving CCR. So Jambalaya on the Bayou is actually a remake of Hank Williams song. That entire album was just all country and folk standards. So for some reason, John really wanted to distance himself away from CCR as much as possible. So B-side on that being Working on a Building. And the Blue Ridge Rangers came out as the Blue Ridge Rangers initially, and then got reissued with John Fogerty Blue Ridge Rangers. So there are 2 versions of that album out there. If you find one that doesn't have John Fogerty's name across the top of it, then you've got one of those first editions that came out before they retitled it to make money off of his name, obviously. It probably didn't sell well just under Blue Ridge Rangers. Okay, now we're moving on to the Rolling Stones with Brown Sugar on side 1. And the B side of that being Bitch. Okay. And moving on to the next Rolling Stones in the pile here. And we've got Wild Horses. Couldn't drag me away. And the B side being Sway, which isn't one that I'm as familiar with as the other 3 songs there that we've looked at from the Stones. So, next up, the hits just keep on coming. The Doors Love Her Madly. And I love the Caterpillar Electra label you see from time to time. It's just cool. And then the B-side of that was You Need Meat, Don't Go No Farther, which is a Willie Dixon song that the Doors did a cover of. Yeah, not familiar with it, but it's clearly noted there on the label. And then here we've got a Dot, Paramount Dot Records, with the Safaris doing Wipeout, which is a really, really good instrumental song. And the B-side of that one is another song you probably recognize, Surfer Joe. So, whoop. And the last one we're going to cover in this episode, simply because we've got 62, and I broke it up into 3 piles, 20, 21, and 21. So I want to, get all of this spindle in an even amount of videos. So that meant to break it up into 3 even quantities. And this one's Little Green Bag by the George Baker Selection. And Colossus. That's a really cool looking label, isn't it? I like that. That's neat. You keep wanting to throw it upside down, though, because it looks kind of like it's off. And then Pretty Little Dreamer was the B-side of that one. So be sure to come back and see us for part 2 of this disco case. And we'll talk to you then. Have a great day.